Hello, water signs. Welcome to your reading for December 2018. This channel is called The Witching Hour. My name is Michelle, and I'm a witch. Doing a little brief smudging before we begin. For water signs, this shell was given to me by my beautiful son, the younger of my two sons, and it features in all of my readings. And I want to shout out to him because he is a Pisces. I love you, my baby. So welcome everyone to the Witching Hour. My name's Michelle and I'm a witch, and this is a reading for the element of water. Just for the element of water, if you are just looking at the elemental beings and their energies and put them all together, look at all 4 elemental readings. But this reading is also for the signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Thank you all for joining me, for all your likes, shares, and subscribes, and comments especially, but mainly in general, just for your love and your support. And I send it right back to you. Here and now, I evoke the elemental force of water, the fluid of infinite shapes and forms, flowing source of adaptability, emotion, and life. I seek the pure spring within, that I might drink deep of change, relationship, nourishment, and grace. I call you forth to wash away all that needlessly binds and to move fluidly in this world. Ocean and river, ripple and rain, water, I call thee hence. I don't know about you guys, but what I am feeling, I just felt all bubbly and effervescent and playful. I felt joy. I feel just a pure positive, childlike, innocent energy coming already. I feel movement. I do feel also, on the more negative side, I feel like some of you feel as if you've locked into the formula of life and you're going to find out, like the universe will show you there's no formula. So to caution you to not think there's a fixed formula, but to flow and be adaptable with the energy of joy. It's not, we never really have it locked in, and that's not to be a Debbie Downer, but it's to remind us, all of us are made of all of these elements, so it's not just for you water signs, it's for all of us to remember that the influence of our Mother Earth and the element of water is that it's never fixed and static. So joy is fluid and so is sorrow. It's always moving. So I was getting also the energy of movement. But right now we're moving through a time of joy. And the universe is also, telling us to pause and take note of the fact that we don't have a formula for happiness. And to remember grace, the word grace really stood out to me in that blessing. I call forth the guardians of north, east, south, and west to provide for us a truly divinely directed reading for the highest good of all. So may it be. So here we have, for the element of water, playful. I just feel like it's playful. And you're going to see the cards are coming out just kind of based on that little introductory feeling that I was getting, that I was expressing to you guys. The underlying energy is that of success. Yes. Love, security, and freedom. Those are the 3 areas we're looking at. I'm going to scooch these back a tiny bit so I can try and get everything in the frame for you guys. I want you to be able to see it all. And in the area of security, past, present, and future. We have the underlying energy of potential. See, I mean, it's all positivity. We've got a lot of fire here. What's interesting is the fire element reading got a lot of water and air. And water is getting some fire in here. And underlying energy, too. So it's pretty strong. So it's almost like, you know, things are cooking. You know, there's so much potential in what we're doing and feeling right now. Oops, that's my heater coming on. Excuse me. All right. In the area of freedom, past, present, and future, having to do with our free will choices, our self-empowerment, and the direction that our life will take. Could also say that it's somewhat of the action that your life path will take you. Like it's like the path itself, but the choices you'll be making. The underlying energy is that of fluctuation. Excellent. Just what I said. It fluctuates. It goes back and forth. But we don't have to be scared of that creating imbalance. And it reminds me of that book, Eat, Love, Pray by, what is her name? Something Gilbert. Elizabeth Gilbert. When she falls in love and her healer says to her, sometimes, misquoting here, so forgive me please, but it's also in the movie with Julie Roberts, but in the book, in the movie, it's the same line, just delivered by 2 different characters, and the main character is upset because she's in love, and she had just really found herself and thought she found the formula of balance in her life, and then she falls in love, and it throws everything out of whack. And her friend says, but sometimes even in love, it throws us. Part of living a balanced life is sometimes being out of balance for the sake of love. Sometimes, you know, so sometimes imbalance from being in love it's part of a balanced life, is to make room for that imbalance and that unpredictability, for that not thinking you have this formula locked down. So there's your reading. I mean, it already happened, so that's the main message, but let's see how the details are playing out, especially in your feelings. I want to tap into your soul energy. Ooh, and don't worry, I'm not like a, you know, I'm not like a soul vampire. But that's being an empath. I read soul to soul. My soul speaks with your soul, and they communicate. It's part of being an energy healer, just part of being that umbrella term of being a witch, which I am. It's what I am, but as far as what I do and how I function, I read soul to soul. It's very empathic. It's as if I'm you during this reading. And also, you know, tapping into the universe, the collective at large. So I'm feeling some of us are very happy in love, very happy at the thought and the hope of love, the optimism that love is giving us. It is giving us a sense of security and stability, but it's even reflecting in our income, because we have more enthusiasm for our calling, whatever that is for you. And not just our calling, but also, you know, if your 9 to 5, so to speak, is different than what your calling is, it's influencing your finances, or it's influencing your material gain. It's also influencing your value system. And remember to be fluid with the value system, because our values do change. We do have our fixed permanent values in place, and I think we're going to be examining that right now. I think the Venus retrograde contributed to that, looking at our values concerning love, relationship, how we want to be loved. And we're worried that we're going to be too loosey-goosey and inflexible in our value system regarding how we want to be loved. I'm feeling that kind of apprehension in these cards here. In other words, love is making us feel insecure and vulnerable, and we're starting to wig out about it a little bit, just a little bit. It's like it's giving us pause and going, oh my God, am I going to be too vulnerable? Am I emotionally mature enough? Oh my God, how is this going to change my life? Oh shit, you know? But it's like, it's okay, because in the center here of love, we have the King of Cups, and he's like, calm down. Calm yourself. It's okay. There's the reassuring presence. But I'm feeling trust issues around this person. It could be male. I tend to say, okay, the first impression is male because I communicate with the cards as they reveal themselves. But it doesn't have to mean that it's fixed. It doesn't have to be male. But I don't like it to be so wishy-washy. So anyway, this is a male energy, okay? Whether you're male or female, this is male energy, okay? First and foremost, it could be a male person, yes, or it could just be male energy. But this is emotional maturity, is the embodiment of the element of water. And also reminiscence I'm getting, and nostalgia, and oh, we're creating wonderful memories here. I'm feeling too, there's some apprehension. It's like you're feeling your trust issues rise up to the surface is what I'm getting, and it's okay. I keep getting, just go with the flow, just keep going. I think you're enough in check. Some of us are apprehensive about, am I overthinking things? Is this what I really wanted? Is this exactly what I really wanted? And it's more, what I'm getting is, it will have to play itself out. You're going to have to trust. You're going to have to trust. It's okay if it ends up not being that perfect formula of happiness in love that you dreamt about before. It's okay. You're afraid of settling, I'm feeling, with some of you. And some of you don't want to maintain the status quo. You want things to evolve because they feel like they could. There's the potential of evolving. Or some of us feel certain this relationship and connection with someone, my connection with myself, feels so fully mature. And I just want it to stay right here. Some of you are afraid to move to the so-called next level of the relationship. And it's like Spirit is saying it doesn't have to, the next level of the relationship doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to look like a specific thing. Let's let it be whatever it plays itself out to be. And some of us don't like that. It's like, but I want to know. What is the next level of maturity in this connection? And it's like, what I'm getting is stop overthinking it for some of us, okay? Let it flow. Let it flow. So think of, Walt Disney Frozen. Instead of let it go, it's let it flow. Let it flow. All right, so let it flow. I just heard the two words randomly in my mind, wind and rain. Maybe because of the song, I am one with the wind and sky. And earth, water element needs to be one with the wind and rain. Like to let things blow over. Enjoy your good feelings, but they too will blow over. And it doesn't mean you're going to be sad next. It just means take it as it comes. There's no fixed formula. They keep re-emphasizing that again. The underlying energy of your emotional, mental, and physical security and spiritual security in the past was discontent. It didn't, and so we have the Four of Cups here. This is for the recent past in the area of security. Not happy with how you were manifesting things. Very this is too blasé. I don't like it. It's too status quo. See, and it matches the Four of Coins. But I think things are going to materialize better than you were anticipating in the past. And it will evolve to another level for some of you, but in a way you didn't expect. It may even evolve to the point where some of us are like, this relationship was great. I loved it. And I'm ready to move on. And not to make light of breaking up with someone, but it's more like it's not breaking up. It's more like moving on. You want to evolve. Some of us want to evolve within that same relationship. Some want to evolve into a different relationship. It's almost like you might be thinking and maybe even judging yourself a bit, saying, oh, jeepers, I feel guilty for wanting an upgrade. But I'm actually ready for like just a new person. And not because it's like I don't feel that people are expendable. That's where you feel the guilt. It's like, well, they're not a pair of shoes. Oh, I'm tired of wearing these. I'm going to just chuck them and donate them somewhere, you know. And, I'm just tired of this relationship. Or, you know, okay, well, I've had as much fun as I can. Now I want a new person. And it's not like that, but I feel that there's a sense of guilt there. But for some of us who are still in a relationship and we're really enjoying the emotional maturity and stability within this connection, it's making us apprehensive. Like, what's going to happen? Because I'm at this point of vulnerability and I'm not sure if my trust has matured enough. And Spirit is saying, just trust yourself. Don't worry about working on trusting another person. It's not about them. It's about trusting yourself, in the sense that you're the one who's going to have to answer to yourself. You'll have to answer to your intuition. And it's like you're afraid of not being able to gauge your intuitive discernment because your emotions are flying so high or strong and deep. And it's like, I feel that the stronger your emotions go, the deeper they go, the stronger your intuition will be. And you'll be able to trust yourself, because you're the only one who can answer yourself about trusting this other person. It's just that awkward time of when you're like, I need a sign. And it's like the sign is deep within yourself. It's deep within your own well. Like the blessing said, the pure spring within. That's where you have to go to discern those feelings of, can I trust what this, what's going on here? So it's like, I'm getting again, like how Spirit was saying, oh, it's okay. Just relax and try and be at peace with all of it. It's exciting. And it's also scary. So kind of like a roller coaster ride, There's the ups and downs, and do I really want to get on this ride? Or some of us are like, I've been on this ride 50 times, I liked it and it was great while I was on it, and now I'm ready to go on the merry-go-round, or I'm ready to go on the, whatever it is. I just want a different sense of exhilaration. Okay? And not to feel guilty about that. Not to feel guilty about that. But some of us are taking our relationships that we're in just into a different area together, like an unexplored terrain, and you're going in together. And it does have emotional potential, or there is a new area in your relationship that's going to influence your feelings. And you're excited and scared, but you trust each other. And it's more important to trust yourself, though, I'm going to remind you. So how it's feeling in the area of security, while the emotions were influencing our sense of material security, especially about it being safe in the world again for us. It felt safe again. And it's like, I feel like what I'm getting for this card, which is the Ten of Wands, which is the energy of force. It's like forcing yourself to stay happy. Forcing yourself to stay at the peak. You can't. You can't do that. It's unnatural. It peaks and there's a valley, and it peaks and there's a valley. It's just like this, It's like riding a wave. You can expect it. It doesn't mean it's going to feel bad. It just means It's not peaking, you know? I don't feel anything negative here. I really don't. Your discontent is in the past. And that's not for everybody. But some of us need, in our sense of security, as far as our work goes, I'm feeling the energy of work. So that is whatever you are putting yourself at work to do, whether it be your calling or your 9-to-5 job, so to speak, whatever it is. You feel a potential for getting past the honeymoon stage is over, period. It's like you got past realizing the honeymoon stage is over, and these other things in your life are compensating for that honeymoon stage in your work being over. So it's like, well, my relationships are great, or my finances are in an upturn, which is great. And I can handle the discontent in my work because these other areas are compensating. And yet, it feels, yeah, okay. Having gone through that stage, you forced yourself, so to speak. You applied all of your strength in trying to stay put. And for some of you, that rewarded you exponentially. You got to the finish line, so to speak, or you see some light at the end of the tunnel. You do see the long-term rewards. For some, it's like, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna dip. I'm out. Bye. You know, maybe you're just taking a week off just to get kind of a mental breather. I'm out. I'm dipping. And that's gonna refresh you. It's gonna, I don't know what it is. I don't know what could, I'm getting the sense, don't overthink it while you take your time off. For this next season, from the day you see this video through December and beyond, time is fluid, obviously. You're gonna see the long-term, your personal long-term goal is going to come more clearly into view about what you want to do with your life. But it's like, try not to plan it from soup to nuts, from very beginning to the very end. Like, don't lock into having to take all these steps and making this laundry list of how your life is going to be for the rest of your life. But you are going to get a glimpse, and not just a fleeting glimpse, but a good glimpse. What I'm getting from Spirit is write it down. You might want to write it down. Just quick little bullet points, but these are the more important things that you want to nail down. That's what I'm getting. And you have the potential to see it, and you have the potential to feel it a little bit each day. Okay? Without forcing the issue and saying, I need it all at once. I need to have that plan. I need to know it's going to work. I need to make this decision is what I need to know what I'm going to do. And it's like a lot of worrying about nothing, in a sense, because most of what you're worrying about is not going to transpire, at least not in the way you anticipate it. Some of you are in a position of where work makes you think of that all the time. It like constantly makes you worry about your future, or it gets you to think about your future, and the universe is saying that's a sign to you. It's telling you, the work feels old, but your potential feels new. Like your work feels old, your potential feels new. And that's exactly the point of having to, this kind of a negative reminder on a continual basis. I wouldn't say every day, but you kind of carry the energy around a little bit every day. You might not always be thinking of it every day, but you might be subconsciously or just under the surface feeling like, I feel this every day and I didn't really want to acknowledge it, but now I have to. This job sucks. Or it makes me feel like crap. It doesn't suck, but it's like I'm not happy here. And I keep forcing myself to go on this very low grade level. It's not like a daily battle you fight, but it's like this low grade meh. But it's gotten beyond meh. It's like, oh my God, I feel weary and worn out. There's something in the works is what I'm getting. There's something cooking. And it's like the universe has lit like a little fire under you to come to a slow and steady burn to where you start examining and like I said earlier, write it down. What dissatisfies you about this work? Where is your level of dissatisfaction emotionally? And then write the counterpart. How do I want to feel? So this sense of joy lacking in your vocation or just in your schedule, how your time has to be managed. You're being forced to live the best parts of your life in your spare time, and you hate that. Write down, okay, maybe I need to reconfigure how I diversify my energy more towards what I want. And maybe you can only do a little shift now, but it's going to come out to a better haul in the long run. So, and that brings us to the energy of freedom, which is the Two of Discs with the energy of fluctuation. See, it's that balance. For some of us, it's like, oh no, this is inconsistent. And it's like spirits, I think the message here, what I'm feeling here is, no, it isn't. I know you feel that way, but it's not that. That's more of a residual feeling. Your feeling of apprehension of things are never going to even out. They're always going to be like this. And it's like, no, Spirit is saying that feeling comes more from your expectations of yourself from the past and in the past, where things were too up and down, too polarized. And it's like, again, eat, pray, love. Look up that phrase. It's okay to have this imbalance. It's not really a true imbalance. It's just what the card said. It's a fluctuation, but it's mild. It doesn't mean that it's a negative thing. In the recent past, the Seven of Swords, diplomacy. It's almost like, oh, I have to put my game face on every day. I'm sick of it. It makes me feel, I'm rethinking things. I constantly feel like I'm reinventing the wheel, okay? And that's where you feel things are polarized, you know? I feel great about it one day, and then it goes to shit again, and it just feels too polarized. And it's like, it's not your fault. That's the fault of the flaw of the system that you're in regarding work or the environment or how your life is, the framework of your life regarding where you're able to put your energy. You know, it's just the framework. It's not you. So that's going to be balancing out. I do feel that if you apply yourself to looking, you have to look at it, Spirit is saying. You have to look at it. You have to actually write it down. If you apply yourself to how you want to diversify your energy, then it's going to help you. But if you write it out without capturing the insight, you'll end up going through this cycle again in the wash. Because they're showing me, it's like you're going to go through another cycle of this then. So maybe catch it now while you can. This Mercury retrograde that we're in right now is the time. It's going to help us. And I've said it in my other readings. Go back and look. This Mercury retrograde, from this point in November until the next 3-4 weeks, it's going to help us. It's going to give us a good retrospection. It is. Look, development, 4 of Wands. It is going to stabilize your energy and where you put it. It is going to give you the freedom. So make sure you write down. And here it is. The Queen of Discs, the energy of expression. It's going to flow better. It's going to feel less polarized. It is going to feel more stable and solid. And yet it will still feel like it has this mobility, emotional mobility. You're going to have the security and you're going to have the balance of fluidity. Okay? in emotions. This is also a Scorpio person possibly, or Cancer or Pisces, or you, water signs. But this is the element of water. And she is the feminine expression of earth. So we have earth and water. And I just felt like someone was thinking, oh, you know what earth and water make? Mud. I don't want to feel stuck in the mud. Look at these 3 cards on this side for the future energy is all earth. Everything is going to stabilize. You are going to lock it down, but you are going to also be reminded again to stay fluid. You're going to stay fluid. You'll have those formulaic things regarding only what's most important to you. Those things that are written down, okay? But let the rest of it be fluid and flexible. So for those of you wondering, like the guilt, the feeling of guilt of wanting to upgrade into a different type of relationship, I'm not telling you that, you know, I am personally not saying, yeah, go for it, break up with them or move on. I'm telling you the energy feels like make it a positive experience for yourself. The worst thing about it is the guilt you keep putting on yourself. So that's all. I'm delivering the message. That's all. It's your decision, but I feel from spirit that it will be a positive experience if you want to move on. Let it be a positive experience. Let it be a positive experience and say, woohoo, that was great. I'm looking forward. I'm so excited about the next one. You know what? To me, what I just got is like when you end it on a high note, it's way better, to be honest with you, as opposed to holding on and lingering. And making it a breakup. It's like make it a move on. Very few people get to be in that position conscientiously. Some people move on because they're players, which would be the negative side of that coin. But we're not talking about serial dating here. We're talking about, conscientious evolution, relationship evolution. I think it's very admirable, and I think the energy is conducive to keeping that higher momentum when you leave or move forward on a high note instead of on a low one. You know what I'm saying? I think so. Less having to deal with, any kind of damage that's happened or grieving period, because it isn't necessary. I'm not feeling that it's necessary. It's like move out on the high note. I just keep getting that. Like when a sitcom ends, on TV, it's like some that leave on a high note instead of wrapping it all up with this big sad ending or this poignancy, blah, blah, blah. And there's going to be feels. Of course there will be, because there's appreciation for what was given. But it's like I feel there's going to be a mutual sense of, yeah, we both know. But you'll be the one who had the courage to actually implement it. The other person might not. They might be more willing to coast, and you won't be happy that way. You'll be less happy that way. And that's just what I'm feeling. But the choice is yours, and I wish you all the best in moving forward in that area. The Witch's Wisdom card is the card of homeland with the energy of foundation. This is beautiful. You are creating your foundation. The Four of Discs, the Four of Cups, the emotional balance, the ending of Samhain. So something is transitioning and you have air. It's like, yes, move while you have the clarity. When you have the clarity, put it into motion. That's what will help keep the momentum going, is to act when you have moments of clarity. That will help you keep. And the clarity will be assisted by writing things down and seeing clearly that glimpse of the long term. So I hope that helped, water signs. Love you guys so much. Leave a comment if any of this resonated for you, and if you'd like to connect with me or make a donation. The links are in the drop-down box below this screen. Till we meet again, from my soul to yours, much, much love and brightest blessings. Bye-bye.